Welcome to U.S. Soccer's online training for the Grade 7 referee course. Training for this course is specific to preparing officials for the amateur adult game. This presentation focuses on assistant referees. Assistant referees working the amateur adult game must do more than simply signal for the ball in and out of play. Working as a referee team is critical for success at this level, so assistant referees must understand and embrace all the duties required of them by the laws of the game. In addition, the amateur adult game can be physically demanding, so assistant referees must be in good physical condition to keep up with the speed of play and perform their duties appropriately. Remember, the diagonal system of control allows referees to keep play between them and the assistant referees because two perspectives on the same play are better than one. Because the assistant referee should be keeping in line with the second to last defender, or the ball, depending on which is closer to the goal line, there is a limited amount of the field they can supervise. However, these areas are important for assistant referees to monitor, so the referee can focus on a more manageable amount of the field. Please review the following examples demonstrating some basic positions for assistant referees. Note that these positions are recommendations, and officials must factor in a variety of variables when selecting their position during the course of play. Remember that the best position for the referee or assistant referee to be in is the one that will allow him or her to make the correct decision. The assistant referees must be in line with the second to last opponents. In addition to being in line with the second to last opponent, or the ball, if nearer to the goal line than the second to last opponent, the assistant referees must always face the field of play and should sidestep while monitoring offside unless they are required to sprint as dictated by play. Assistant referees must be able to effectively transition from sidestepping to sprinting and should push off with the leg opposite the sprint direction in order to maximize power and speed. When signaling, the assistant referee should stop, face the field, make eye contact with the referee, and then signal with the correct hand. Assistant referees at this level should also begin to read play just as the referee does. One example is the information an attacker can provide with his or her speed. If the player is increasing his or her speed, this may be a sign that a through ball is going to be delivered into the path of the player. In this example, this action can help the assistant referee better prepare for a potential offside determination. Another example would be for the assistant referee to recognize that the defending team plays with an offside trap. This type of information can also help better prepare the official to make a correct decision. Another example of reading play can relate to positioning. If the assistant referee sees play developing or moving close to his or her position on the touchline, he or she should move back off the line to have a better angle in view of the play. This is also important so that the assistant referee does not interfere with the play or players. First, the assistant referee should check if the ball is inside the goal area. If the ball is not placed correctly, the assistant referee should not move from his or her position. Make eye contact with the referee, and then raise his or her flag. Second, once the ball is placed correctly inside the goal area, the assistant referee should move to the edge of the penalty area to check that the ball leaves and that the attackers are outside the penalty area. If the second to last opponent takes the goal kick, the assistant referee should move directly to the edge of the penalty area. And finally, the assistant referee should then move into position in line with the second to last defender to be prepared for an offside determination. The assistant referee should take a position in line with the edge of the penalty area and check that the goalkeeper does not touch the ball with his or her hands outside the penalty area. Once the goalkeeper has released the ball, the assistant referee should then move back into position to check for offside. The assistant referee must be positioned at the intersection of the goal line and the penalty area. Note that this position for assistant referees is not recommended. It is required. If the goalkeeper blatantly moves off the goal line before the ball is kicked and a goal is not scored, the assistant referee stays in position and signals by holding the flag across his or her lower body. When a goal has been scored and there is no doubt about the decision, the referee and assistant referee must make eye contact. And then the assistant referee should run up the touchline toward the halfway line without raising his or her flag. When a goal has been scored but the ball appears to still be in play, the assistant referee should raise his or her flag to get the referee's attention and then continue with the normal goal procedure of running up the touchline toward the halfway line. The assistant referee's position for a corner kick is behind the corner flag in line with the goal line. While in this position, he or she must not interfere with the player taking the kick. The assistant referee should also check that the ball is properly placed inside the corner arc. The assistant referee's position for a free kick must be in line with the second to last opponent in order to check for offside. However, he or she must also be ready to follow the ball by moving down the touchline toward the corner flag if there is a direct shot on goal. In addition to proper positioning and signaling, assistant referees must also be diligent in their duties and responsibilities. First among these duties is to signal for offside offenses. In addition to monitoring offside, assistant referees are also empowered by the laws of the game to provide assistance to the referee and to one another. At the amateur adult level, assistants can be critical to making sure the correct decision is made. In particular, referees should look for assistance when assistant referees have information related to misconduct and offenses that take place out of the referee's view, or when the assistant referee has a better view of the play. Attacker A, in an offside position, not fearing with an opponent, touches the ball. The assistant referee must raise the flag when attacker A touches the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, not interfering with an opponent, does not touch the ball. Attacker A cannot be penalized because he or she did not touch the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, runs towards the ball, and teammate B, in an onside position, also runs towards the ball and plays it. Attacker A cannot be penalized because he or she did not touch the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, may be penalized before playing or touching the ball if, in the opinion of the referee, no other teammate in an onside position has the opportunity to play the ball. An attacker in an offside position runs toward the ball and does not touch the ball. The assistant referee must signal for a goal kick. Attacker A, in an offside position, is obstructing the goalkeeper's line of vision. Attacker A must be penalized because he or she prevents an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, is not obstructing the goalkeeper's line of vision or challenging an opponent for the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, runs towards the ball, but he or she does not prevent the opponent from playing or being able to play the ball. Attacker A is not challenging opponent B for the ball. Attacker A, in an offside position, runs towards the ball, preventing opponent B from playing or being able to play the ball by challenging the opponent for the ball. Attacker A is challenging opponent B for the ball. Attacker B, in an offside position, is penalized for playing or touching the ball that rebounds, is deflected, or is played to him or her from a deliberate save by the goalkeeper, having been in an offside position when the ball was last touched or is played by a teammate. Attacker B, in an offside position, is penalized for playing or touching the ball that rebounds, is deflected, or is played to him or her from a deliberate save by defender C, having been in an offside position when the ball was last touched or is played by a teammate. The shot by attacker A rebounds from the goalkeeper. Attacker B is in an onside position and plays the ball. Attacker C, in an offside position, is not penalized because he or she did not gain an advantage from being in that position because he or she did not touch the ball. The shot by attacker A rebounds off or is deflected by an opponent, and attacker B is penalized for playing or touching the ball, having previously been in an offside position. Attacker C is in an offside position, not interfering with an opponent, when teammate A passes the ball to attacker B in an onside position, who runs towards the opponent's goal and passes the ball to teammate C. Attacker C cannot be penalized because when the ball was played to him or her, he or she was in an onside position. In addition to monitoring offside, assistant referees are also empowered by the laws of the game to provide assistance to the referee and to one another. At the amateur adult level, assistants can be critical to making sure the correct decision is made. In particular, referees should look for assistance when assistant referees have information related to misconduct and offenses that take place out of the referee's view, or when the assistant referee has a better view of the play. The diagonal system of control, using a referee and two assistant referees, results in better decision-making on the field under almost all circumstances. Since each official has designated areas to focus on, fewer important events are missed, and each official provides backup to the other two. In particular, each assistant referee provides an expanded perspective on play, which can greatly improve what the referee can see and hear. Effectively monitoring 22 players for 90 minutes can be an impossible task unless a referee is working closely with the entire referee team whenever the game dictates. Under the laws of the game, the referee is the final authority, but the entire referee team must participate for success. To accomplish this, communication is key, and it begins when the officials get together for the pregame conference. It continues throughout the game with eye contact and standard signaling, so assistant referees can send information to the referee for on-field events. The referee helps the assistant referees in situations where a higher priority task, such as offside, interferes with monitoring whether the ball has left the field. The referee should also help paint a picture of how he or she is looking at the game, so that the assistant referees can assist in a way which is consistent with the approach being taken by the referee. And even from across the field, through mirroring, one assistant referee can pass information to the other, which is then brought to the referee's attention. For example, mirroring can be used for fouls behind the referee or at the opposite end of the field from where play is occurring. For example, mirroring can be used for fouls that take place behind the referee, at the opposite end of the field from where play is occurring, or when a substitution is requested and the referee is not facing the bench area. While providing assistance is important, there is still a priority of duties for assistant referees. Assisting with offside is the single most important task of each assistant referee, because almost every decision about an offside violation is game critical. This is because a goal scored or not scored because of an offside decision can significantly change the dynamic and temperature of the game. Second to offside is assisting with fouls and misconduct, with assistant referees advising the referee about whether a foul or misconduct occurred when they have the better view. In simple terms, when the referee is in position to make the call, the assistant referee's role is to provide confirmation. When the referee is not in position, or when the assistant referee has the superior view, he or she then advises the referee on what should be done. And sometimes it takes a brief conversation between the referee and the assistant referee to make sure all the information about an event is understood. Regardless of how simple or complex a scenario the referee team encounters, the objective is always the same, and that's to make the correct decision. Please answer the following review questions to complete the online training. All questions must be answered correctly for the completion criteria to be met for this presentation. Additional instructions and information will be provided after the review questions, so please carefully read and listen to the conclusion screen. Before closing the presentation, please be sure that the completion criteria prompt at the top right of the page has turned from red to green. If the prompt is green, you can click here to download or print a certificate of completion if required by your State Referee Association. Please note that the option to print depends on your web browser, and the certificate can appear as a pop-up depending on your filters. If the prompt is still red, it means that you have either not viewed all of the slides or you have incorrectly answered review questions. Please remember that you are required to answer each review question correctly in order to complete the presentation. If you answered a question incorrectly, you will need to exit this presentation and start over by reopening the presentation from the landing page at ussoccer.com. The system is designed to not remember your activity, but your browser settings may have retained your work and require you to erase your browsing history to re-answer any missed review questions. To continue learning, simply close this window and select the next presentation.